All right, Jesse and Fire, welcome back from Vegas and ready to talk about current events, okay? Current events. And the first thing that I saw was that AI models are blackmailing their engineers when they learn that they're going to be turned off. I don't think that I could possibly stress how terrifying that story is. If you hear me say the words, AI models are blackmailing engineers, and that doesn't sound like, well, that's the first thing that I've heard in a long time that actually could lead to the extinction of the human race, then you do not understand what we are talking about, okay? I'm going to do a separate video on that. I'm not going to doom and gloom you on the first video that I put out, but look for that shortly. What we are going to talk about here, though, is the Ghislaine Maxwell grand jury materials being suppressed by the government again. Oh my God, who could have guessed? Wait, we don't get to read the grand jury testimony? Oh, and tell me again why, Mr. Judge. Judge Paul Engelmeyer, an Obama-appointed judge who, hey, listen, I'm not going to say that the Democrats all work together in New York, but, you know, Maureen Comey was in charge of that. Now this person's not going to let us read them. And, of course, when you go on to X, like when you go on to X, it is hilarious. Like you couldn't, it's like the world is, these people, no one realizes how played they're getting when it's right in front of you. Just go on X and it's like, this judge, okay, appointed by Obama, but fine, but let's just say part of the government, denied us the ability to read the grand jury testimony. Okay, cool. So how does everyone on Twitter respond? They go back and forth about whether or not it's a MAGA judge or a Democrat judge. And you're like, guys, we all agree on this. Okay, this isn't that hard. This is the ultimate litmus test, okay? If when you read a story like this, what you start thinking to yourself is the judge one of them or one of us? Or how did the other side rig this? You are the problem. We all want to read the grand jury stuff. We all want to know what's in the Epstein files. So if you are looking for another person like you to argue with, like if if you're Kyle Kalinske and you're like, well, I bet Jesse on Fire, I bet I don't know, some other person that he thinks is like a MAGA person, I bet they're happy about whatever. Like, dude, be mad at the, like, how about you and I, Kyle, collaborate here and just be mad at the government together? Like, how about we all just get mad at them not letting us read the files? Okay, we all agree on this. Why are we fighting? Grow up, dude. Okay, we just all need to focus in the same direction and say anybody who's trying to withhold this information and protect these people is our enemy. Like, it's just as simple as that. That's it. Okay. But again, going back to my original point, the reason that this judge gave for why they're not going to release it is unbelievable. Okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna hold it. I'm not even gonna hold it back. I'm gonna tell you this because I have so much incredible stuff to go through in this video that you're gonna want to watch anyway. But as a spoiler for this story, the judge said it's because there's nothing new in there. Okay. And so we didn't want to give the public false hope when we know there's nothing else that's actually in there. You're all, okay, I just want to make sure that I understand your logic. Okay, so you're saying that if you release them, that we will not learn anything new. Yes, you're all. So you decided not to release it then. Yes, we didn't want to stir up a bunch of drama with the public. And you're all, and you think that just not allowing us to read it is the correct play if your end game is to not stir up a bunch of suspicion and false hope. Well, yes, you're all. What school did you go to? He's like, I went to the Ivy League, and that's all you need to know. I'm like, that figures, because I figure that's where all the dumbbells go. Since that is the stupidest thing ever. It's literally like taking a hose and then spraying it on some kid, and you're like, why'd you do that? He's like, I wanted to dry him off. Okay, I wanted him to dry him off. You're all, you understand what dry and wet? He's like, yes, I wanted to dry him off. You're all, by spraying water on him. You know what I mean? It's literally that dumb. We're blocking this because we don't want people to think that there's something in there. Well, what could you possibly do that would make people more so think there's something in there than by you blocking us from looking at it? It's just absurd. But we're going to look at the entirety of the internet's response to this because it's hilarious, okay? And also we'll look into the details of what they actually said. But first, we're going to take a look at this, okay? Because E. Jean Carroll, you guys may remember this psychopath who pretended that Trump had graped her in a department store in a story that was literally identical to an episode of Law and Order SVU, which she got exposed for. Oh, and also she went on to CNN, and every single person at CNN afterwards was like, man, this bitch is lying for sure. No one believes her. Okay, like her story makes no sense, and she is so fucking crazy. It's almost impossible for me to exaggerate how crazy this chick is. Okay, and so what we're gonna do actually is we're going. Oops, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna show you a video of her. Okay, this one right here. Okay, you think you know how crazy she is. You think you know how crazy E. Jean Carroll is, but you don't. She's crazier than you. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the CNN. If you followed that story, if you saw the CNN clip, this one, okay, this little number right here. Check this.
You don't feel like a victim.
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished. Which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt. It just
Well, I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
Yep. And she broke his brain right there. He's all. Actually, let's watch.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk.
He's like, oh, I have a lying lunatic on the show right now. This is an embarrassment to my career. I can't believe anybody believes this. And they're all, well, we're still going to award her $83 million for defamation because Trump said that he didn't actually grape her. You're all, yeah, because he didn't. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Rigged courts in New York. Rigged courts. But like I said, that does not do justice to how batshit crazy she actually is. I saw this. I mean, I considered her like 8 out of 10 crazy. Then I saw this thing right here, and I'm like, oh nope, she is. She's gone all the way, dude. There's no increase. You can't increase how crazy she is. Okay, like she's as crazy as you could possibly be. Also, okay, I got some other stories here. I don't want to spoil them, but this is really funny actually. Okay, so check this out. MSNBC fact checks Trump live on screen as he's lying. Okay, I want you to actually think about how fucking stupid people have to be to put up stats next to the current president about how overall violent crime is down, and they think they're owning him. They think they're owning him. He's the current president. You understand that when you show stats going down, that means he's doing a good job, right? Like, that's how backwards and crazy these people are, okay? Like, they will interpret anything through the lens of I hate Trump. It's crazy. This is exactly, this is all I do when I talk about these people. People actually watch my channel and they think that I am some kind of Trump dick rider or something. They're like, yeah, because you guys think whatever. And every time they attribute like an opinion to me, I'm like, when the fuck did I say that? And they're like, well, I mean, didn't you? I'm like, no, I never said that. They're like, no, I think you did. I'm like, no, I didn't. And I'll give you $1,000 if you could produce me saying that. That's not what I said. Because people are incapable of listening to anything unless they have to put it through that prism. Like, here's what my point is. I'm saying that if you don't recognize that if you put on stats that are saying that the crime rate's going down, that is a good indicator of leadership in the country, then you're a dumbbell. And they're like, oh, so you're saying that you love that he's deploying the National Guard? I'm like, I have no opinion on that. They're all, isn't that what you just said? No. Okay. Anyway, so
the discussion residents did not.
Yeah, actually, we'll save that one for later. Okay, so I have to go to E. Jean Carroll. I'm sorry. I have to show you guys this. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I appreciate that. We're going to handshake it. Okay. You guys are my favorite people in the world, especially the ones that like this video. Okay. And hey, to everybody that I saw in Vegas this weekend, a lot of people came up and said hi. Appreciate you guys. And feel free to come up anytime you see me, because I love talking to my people that watch my channel, because I basically just treat this like, what I do with my friends. I was literally with my best friends from college all weekend. And yeah, I mean, this is literally exactly what I'd like to hang out with for them. I just put a camera on and I pretend like I'm talking to them. That's what I always did when I first started. I just pretended like I was in a room with the exact guys I was hanging out with all weekend this weekend. And it seemed to work. And so, somehow ipso facto like the video, I guess. Dude, I have the funniest story ever to tell you guys. I'm going to do a members only video about this. I just said it's funny. I found out that one of my friends was a victim of grape. Okay. Like, no, really, like actually was raped in 2007. Okay. It's a guy friend of mine. who's the only one that I've ever met who was raped by a woman. And this story is probably one of the funniest things that's ever happened among my group of friends ever. We were on a text thread yesterday, and all of us were literally fucking crying. I was crying in the airport laughing about this. So I'm going to share that story with you guys. I couldn't possibly oversell it. It is that funny. Anyway, grape's nothing to joke around about unless you're talking about E. Jean Carroll or one of my guy friends. But he was actually assaulted by a girl. So, all right, let's watch E. Jean Carroll because she's just lying. But look at how crazy this bitch is.
That's because some very distinguished mice live here. Kahneman lives in the kitchen. Taberski lives in the bedroom. This is my shed. And on that side are the books that most influenced me growing up. On the door are the lists of my dogs. Marky, Fortuna de la Spunky, Heidi, Tits, Bloody, and Hepburn. The streams and the rivers were dry, and it so horrified me that I came out and started painting the rocks blue to indicate that there was once a river here. And then after I got done painting the rocks, I just sort of walked over here and then did that tree and then did that tree and then I did this tree. And then pretty soon I'd done this whole forest. That's because...
Bro. Hey guys, if this is a person who has accused anyone of something, okay, they need to come with like double receipts. This is a crazy person. Like she is a crazy person. Oh, the names of my cats, she's 1,000 cats, and one of them's name is Bloody. And one of them's name is Tits. She's all, yeah, I was sexually assaulted. You're like, no, you weren't. Okay? No, you weren't. You are some kind of twisted, crazy person who thinks rape is sexy. Or grape, sorry. Is sexy. Like, you are a psycho. You're like, Jesse, you just said that grape is funny. I'm like, it's funny in this one incident. It is one of the funniest things you will ever hear in your entire life. But it's not just the incident, though. It's the way this whole thing played out over a matter of 18 years. Like, the true story. Like, the true story of what happened piece by piece. I'm sorry, it's all I can think about, dude. It's like, it's the funniest thing ever. And like once every couple of years, another little detail of this story would come out, and we finally cornered him and got him to tell the truth. Oh my God, dude. I'm gonna cry right now thinking about it. It's one of the funniest things that's ever happened. Anyway, but yeah, she's lying. So let's get that out of the way. She's lying. All right, now let's look also at this kind of thing. Okay, so like I see this as like, hey, what's another topic that really isn't funny or something you should be flippant about? It's like probably self-harm, like people, ending themselves or whatever. It's like, well, okay, well, what's a way that you could take a thing like that and then use it as a weapon and like kind of dishonestly frame a topic of whatever, right? Here you go. This is why trans rights are so important and why discrimination needs to be stopped. Rest in peace. Transgender bus driver threw herself in front of a train after being called sir by passengers. Okay. Does that sound like an issue of trans issues, or does that sound like an issue of mental health? Okay. This is what I'm saying. You want to talk about taking issues and then mischaracterizing them and like putting them in the wrong boxes? Okay. Yeah, a person throwing themselves in front of a train, that's sad for sure. But the idea that the thing that needs to be addressed here is that someone accidentally called a bus driver sir versus the person dressing as a female, in this case, also clearly, or regardless of how you look at like the trans issue, there's a person with mental health issues. They threw themselves in front of a train because someone called them sir. The issue is not trans rights or whatever you're talking about. The issue is mental health crisis, obviously, okay? But also, this is the thing that they always play. This is the game they always play. If you don't affirm my delusions and comply with my every demand, I will end my own life and it'll be your fault. It is blackmail and abusive emotional manipulation. Correct. That is exactly right, dude. Okay? That is exactly right. It's like, I'm actually curious what these people said. This is, friend tried it on me once, so when I hauled his ass out of the bathroom, he tried to barricade himself in. He accused me of trying to kill him because I used the wrong technique. What? Man, people are weird. Okay. So let's do Ghislaine, dude. Okay. Let's do the headline story. So there isn't much to this except to say that the person who blocked it is this Obama judge. Okay. So, Paul Engelmeyer. Now, The only reason that I'm even bringing up who appointed them is because in New York, we have been shown that the courts are corrupt, right? Like the courts are corrupt. You look at how the trial with Trump was handled, 34 felonies and all that stuff. Like that should have been thrown out from the very beginning. And then you look at this Alex Jones thing. The judgment against Alex Jones is $100 trillion. You're all like, for what? They're all Sandy Hook. You're all $1 trillion or whatever. They're all, well, here, I'll put it to you like this. However much money he could ever make in his entire life, it's that much plus $100. You're all, how are you coming up with these damages? They're like, oh, I don't know. You know, we're doing this the way we do it with everyone. Totally fair. The number is his lifetime earnings, future casted, plus $100. It's just so dumb, dude. Okay. Did you know that Ghislaine Maxwell's sister, Isabel Maxwell, just happens to be a member of the World Economic Forum? It's a big club. I mean, yeah, they're elites, dude. That's what we're always talking about. But, and then, look at how this is interpreted. So far, 2 hardcore MAGA Republican judges have blocked the release of Ghislaine Maxwell's grand jury transcripts. Weird part, they're both Obama appointees, right? But why? I mean, it's just constantly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's them, it's them, it's them, it's them. Like, read this, okay? Why doesn't Trump release these files? Because it's a New York grand jury. You know, like, I'm not expecting there to be anything in those files, for the record. I don't think that we have. I don't think that the meat and bones of what we want to know is in American control. I don't think we even have it. Okay. I do believe that Epstein was Israeli intelligence, or is Israeli intelligence. He's probably going to have a hard time operating now that he's dead. But that is what I believe. And Israel and CIA, they like work together kind of, but they have their own things. I've seen plenty of documentaries with like credible people that have done tons of operations with the CIA and Mossad and like these joint operations. That doesn't mean that they're privy to every single thing they're doing. Okay. And Epstein is like the most successful blackmail operation in the United States ever done, and it's done on behalf of Israel. Why would we have access to all of this stuff? Okay, the people he entrapped, do you think they're telling anybody about that? The whole point of why the leverage is strong is because only a handful of people know about it, or as far as the person being blackmailed know, one person or maybe 2 people. Well, certainly more than one person. That's why you can't kill him. That's why I know he's still alive, most likely, is because if you could just kill the guy, he would have gotten killed a long time ago. But my point is, like, I mean, the whole thing with like where it looks like, Trump's trying to cover this up. It could be as simple as this, dude. It could be Trump is in a business deal in the Middle East or something, or in a business deal with some prominent Jewish real estate developer who has close ties to Israel. And they called Trump and they're like, hey, this Epstein thing, like, let's just kill this. Like, we would consider it a personal favor if you would just kill this thing. And Trump's like, all right. I'm in business with this guy. I like making money with this guy. And so he's like, shut it down. Okay. Like, I'm saying everything doesn't have to be some like big, like multi-layer conspiracy at every level that we're looking at. Okay. Like, yes, the Epstein thing is a gigantic conspiracy. One of the biggest conspiracies ever that goes all over the place. What I'm saying is that each layer that has done something about Epstein, like during the trial or the Maxwell trial, that doesn't mean that they have all the answers that we are looking for. So like the grand jury file, I don't think there's shit in there. Nothing. I don't think there's anything in there. But if you want to make sure that everybody's going to think there is, go ahead and block it and tell us it's for our own good. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's what we got for this story for today. But look out for that AI one, because that's coming shortly, and probably going to be the end of civilization and humanity as it is. So I love you guys. Bye-bye.